Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Timeout with Coach Cam. I know it's been a little while, but we are excited to be back. Hey, if it looks familiar, we got the same crew back with us, the PTP crew, and my guy JT from the front office news, Mr. Hollywood. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I ain't gonna air him out like that. No,
Yes,
no, but man. No, I got my guy Aaron, I got my guy Jeff, I got my guy JT, and of course, anytime we come together, we go talk Bearcats. Obviously, the NFL draft just happened. We got four Bearcats selected in the NFL draft. Four. That's
four.
good. That's being up in the names with the Power Five conferences and things like that. And we had a lot, of people drafted, more than a Power Five per se. I don't think Michigan State got anybody drafted. I just had to throw it. I had to throw that
Who?
jab right there.
Michigan who?
Hey,
Right, I had to throw
I
that jab. I don't think they got anybody drafted. But just to look at the guys who were drafted from the Bearcats. Obviously, the first one was offensive lineman James Hudson. Went off the board first. Went to Cleveland though. That kind of hurt. He went to Cleveland because I think James Hudson is going to be a very good player.
One pick
Uh,
ahead of the Bengals.
one
yeah,
pick,
Right.
one pick ahead of the Bengals, exactly. So you
I
never
was
know what would have happened there. But he went 110 in the fourth round. Then you had Derek Forrest, the safety, who really helped himself in the pro day. I think he went from
yeah,
probably undrafted, honestly, to a fifth rounder by his workouts. He goes to Washington, and James Wiggins, safety, he gets drafted by Arizona. Very good team. That's a good position for him. And then you got Jared Dokes. I'm happy for Jared Dokes. He went through a lot here.
yeah,
I was kind of shocked to hear his name, but I'm happy for him. That he got drafted for Miami. I'll start with you, Aaron. Was there any draft pick that we named that you thought would maybe go higher, or didn't go as high as you expected, or is there any other Bearcats you thought maybe that could have snuck in and had heard their name called in the NFL draft?
If there wasn't such a downplay on kickers, I think you would have seen James Smith
Mm,
drafted. He was one of the first names you heard right out the gate as far as undrafted free agents signed. So it's good to see some of these guys who did end up landing in spots that were undrafted free agents like James Smith. There's been several others with Elijah Ponder and what have you. I can't even remember. I think there's maybe three or four
yeah.
guys that ended up signing.
Darius Harper,
Harper.
Bruno LaBelle.
Harper.
Yep,
There
yep,
it is.
Ronaldo. Yep, there's it.
That said, I kind of expected Hudson to go a little earlier. I think Hudson expected himself to go a little earlier. All speculation around him was anywhere between. I mean, there were some people who had him as high as late in the first round, early on.
Yeah,
I don't think when he got his measurables though, as far as like his arm length and some different things that came out, I don't think he was as high on people's boards after that than was initially expected. That said, I think we still expected him to go by the end of the third round,
mm-hmm.
certainly.
Yep,
And then there he was early in the fourth round. And so I think just surprised a lot of people. Kudos to him though for getting as far as he did after only playing 1 year on the
Yeah.
offensive line, as opposed to the defensive line where he initially started. And he made a name for himself, albeit with a bonehead play to finish his college experience. But that just kind of is what it is at this point. And just while I want to see him succeed, I do not want to see him succeed twice a year against my Cincinnati Bengals. So
Yeah, no, I was actually really pulling for James Smith to get his name called, just because he's got a great personality and I think he's a great kicker. On top of all of that, I think he's going to do well. He's gonna be one of those guys that kind of sticks around in the NFL, like probably like 10 years. Like, oh yeah, he's still around, running to the side and booting the ball because he's Australian and that's how they do it. And they're successful with it, so it's great. And I know that the Bearcats have another guy that they got out of that same kind of Australian camp over there, like Pro Kick.
The Rake.
Is it Pro
That's
Kick
what they call him?
Australia? I think
That's what they call him. Yeah,
That's what-
pro kicker.
That's what Bearcat Journal's been calling him, the Rake, because he's just so
I like
skinny.
that.
He is. Yeah. I
That's
know they
all
call him Rick. That's great.
We keep telling Brady that we're gonna make it stick, and Brady keeps telling us no, it's not gonna stick, and we're like, no, he's the Rake, and he knows exactly who we're talking about every time we call him the Rake. So
That's awesome.
I like that.
That's great.
And then like I did think Hudson was going to go higher. I mean, I know Aaron already touched on it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that stuff coming out that like after the like was it the Senior Bowl?
Mhm.
After a lot of that kind of stuff, he had made some good impressions on a lot of teams, and there was some talk that he had elevated his draft stock, and maybe that's as high as he was going to go anyway. And there was just a lot of smoke and mirrors being thrown out there. But I thought for sure he would be off the board after the second round. Obviously that didn't happen, but he did get picked up. He went to the Browns, so it's unfortunate I can't root for him anymore. So
Cam, is that Mama Chancellor?
No, it's my brother.
Oh,
My brother. I think because I had
had
it
no idea.
scheduled and we was talking before, and he was probably like, "Come on, where y'all at?" But that's my brother. He lives in San Diego in the Navy. So
He in San Diego. That's my favorite city, bro.
hey, it's
Shout-
beautiful.
shout
I
out,
gotta
fam.
get out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So JT, what you
Yeah.
think, man?
Yeah, man, I'm a piggyback, man. I thought James Smith was gonna get drafted. It was up. I think I want to say it was 10 to 15 teams that looked at him at pro day. He showed them he changed his style. Like he didn't do like the regular Australian kick. He did the 1-2, boom. He was kicking that ball like 60 something yards, a nipper.
on a windy day.
On a windy day, he was booting that thing. Like my intern, he got there a little bit earlier and he filmed it. And I mean, he was killing that thing. And I know they interviewed him. We didn't even interview him after the thing. I thought he was definitely going to get drafted, at least by the 7th round. Just, that last pick, somebody would give him a chance to get called.
There were 2 long snappers taken.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you take him?
did you see the one video of the long snapper? I think it was to the
No.
Panthers.
Why would I waste my time watching a video of a long
Because-
snapper?
No, it's not him. Like it was him getting the call. He thought that Matt Rule was calling him to tell him that they were, interested in him as an undrafted free agent. And he was like, "No, like we're drafting you." And he was like,
Right? Yeah, he
"Man,
couldn't
you
even believe it.
serious?" And then they put the owner on the phone. He was like, "Are you ready to get to work?" And he was like, "You ready to come to Carolina?" He was like, "Dude, I will walk to. You want me to crawl? I'll crawl to Carolina. I'm down. Let's win. Let's do this thing."
That's tight.
What the heck?
Unreal.
I definitely thought he was gonna get drafted. Though, like you would have told me he was gonna get drafted, I would have probably called you a lie, like to your face. And then, like James Hudson, I definitely thought he was going 2nd round, man. So like I'm telling everybody, like I got a lot of family from Toledo, so like people like they know James Hudson's grandfather, blah blah blah. Like it's deep rooted, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, yeah, they say he's gonna get drafted. I'm like, look, I'm pretty positive he's gonna get drafted by the end of Saturday, right? And then when I saw him still there, I was like, what the heck? I know it's measurable. I know he didn't run the 40 as fast as people kind of thought, but he's a freaking lineman. He's quick. Did he allow a sack this year? You saw as boneheaded as that play against Georgia was, it should have showed how important he was, because the Aziz kid got drafted in the 2nd round. He had no stats until James Hudson left the game. None.
Yep.
Like he might have had a tackle. When James Hudson left the game, the kid won the player of the game, and he was freaking all over the place.
Now, do you guys think that he ends up as a guard or a tackle at the NFL level, though?
He'll be guard first. I mean, tackle, because he's so athletic, man. You ever seen him move? Like just
He was always
the first
pushing
time I
people down the
saw
field.
him, dude. The first time I saw him practice, I was like, this is why everybody wants him to play now. I knew like he was better than every other lineman. Like,
Well, and I get that, but that's against the American, and I think he's got to put on more weight to take on the NFL.
he's 310, but he's like slender, like he's athletically built.
Which doesn't
That's
make
good.
sense.
Hey,
Like,
isn't Sewell also like 310?
Yeah,
That's
he's
not-
big.
And
he's big.
and he's the next greatest thing ever in the world.
Hall of
Yeah.
Famer.
It's too bad he's gone to Detroit, and
Yeah.
that's the end of that.
And then I'm happy for Dokes, because like I thought Doak, I saw like a lot,
Shocker.
but he had a heck of a pro day. His pro day was really underrated. He had the highest vertical. I think I think Forrest had the second highest, which I'm happy for him too. Like that's my that like Forrest is my guy. Like I said, he was going to the league when he was a sophomore. People thought I was crazy.
Defoe?
And Defoe, that's my guy.
Yeah.
So, but Dose is my guy too, though. But he had a heck of a pro day. He ran a faster 40 than people expected, and he was a lot quicker than people expected. You know what I mean? And he already can catch good.
Good luck getting to the quarterback if Dokes is in your backfield.
Hey, Dokes is gonna hit somebody. He gonna hit somebody. He gonna hit somebody for sure. Fact. So I was happy for them.
People.
I hope it's one of those Watts. Any one of the Watts. I hope he just gets to put it in their chin.
He gonna put in somebody's chin. And the thing is, the Dolphins really don't have like that superstar running back. So he might, if he should stay healthy, he gonna have a chance to get some goal line.
Myles Gaskin, maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, I like those chances, like these to stick around. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and then if he toting that mill, you never know. I mean, he definitely gonna run hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and he catch the ball at the backyard. I mean,
did you guys think that Wiggins was going to go higher than that?
Yes.
Oh heck yeah!
Heck yeah!
Oh yeah!
Because y'all know, right? Before he tore his knee the first time, they had him as a top 5 safety, and he's supposed to go in the second round for sure. And I'm pretty sure that's why he stayed, because he hurt himself. But I still thought with him running at low 40, his athleticism and what he did after coming off that injury, I thought he still would go in the third round, fourth at the latest.
Truthfully, though, that's the difference between our conference and any of the Power Fives. As if there isn't already enough bias, it's when you get injured, you drop immediately.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You drop 2 or 3 rounds. It doesn't make sense. It's
wild. It's wild.
Hey, were you also confused as to why there were no highlights of Zaven Collins against UC being shown when they were talking about him being the next greatest thing?
I wasn't confused.
He wasn't on the show. He had like 2 tackles against us.
I was saying, wasn't on the show.
Did he have a half tackle? Was it
1.5?
1.5.
I knew it was low. Like that's like that's the only game he made on
that game.
They did him a favor. They did him a favor by giving him the 1, because the 1 was probably also assisted. But yeah, I mean, it was
his name was not called that day, like for real.
Not at all.
Yeah, for sure. So
because I remember watching the whole game, and I didn't hear Zaven Collins at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
so as good as this team, like I know, like it's Cam, it's your show. I'm gonna throw this question out for y'all.
Sure.
Just keep rolling with it. Next, we're gonna jump to the 2022 draft.
Dude.
With all the Bearcats, we had 4 people get signed, and we had 4 get drafted. Honestly, I think the Bearcats could have 7 people get drafted next year, maybe more. It's possible.
You have to have a monster year. It's you have to have a really, really good season. Of course, I see obviously Sauce, obviously Ritter. And some of these defensive guys, you got Kobe
Briggs.
Bryant. I mean,
Briggs. Is he out next year? Is he?
He might come
out.
But Jay Sanders.
Sanders. The safeties, I think could.
Wiley.
Wiley can leave.
Cook and Bush.
There's a lot of talk about Wiley. I mean, he's
Hicks.
Malik Van.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of guys. I mean, so for me,
Ford can leave.
Definitely, I can see us getting more next year.
Taylor, I think is he a senior this year? He had an extra year maybe, but I mean, he's good enough. I think he could be a late round dude, even if Wiley's the guy, right? But
Lenny T got measurables that can translate to.
Depends how much Lenny sees the field.
He'll see it. They run a lot of 2 tight ends. They go run. Lenny could block too.
Yep.
Very good blocker.
I'm telling you, man. I've seen him practice. At one practice, I seen him at 2 practices. And Lenny T, bro, because Wiley was still hurt. Lenny T was out there killing, next level, killing,
could be dominant.
So, with him and Wiley, if they use them right, bro, they can go crazy, real crazy. And they got sweet receivers on the outside. You got Pierce and Mike Young Jr. They might have a chance because Pierce got measurables.
Now I do. Y'all know I do the BBP with Bearcat Journal, and we do talk to Brady Collins, and he put his name on it on Sunday or on Monday. He said, I think it was like 8:38 or something like that on May 3rd. He said, I'm saying right now, the Bearcats record is 6. We will have more than 6 drafted next year. Put my name on it.
I'm
And
telling you, I say 7.
that's coming from a coach.
Yeah, I say 7 plus.
They
I'll
had
take it.
I
I'll
say 7
take it.
plus.
that was 2009. They had when they had 6, and Huber, that's a punter that was taken in the 5th round by the Bengals. But back in '98, they had 5 taken in 1998.
Word.
Wow.
That's like when you think about
Dang.
like Bearcats football, like you don't think about 1998.
Was that
Damn.
D'Antonio years?
Nah,
was-
that's
Nah,
a
that's
mentor.
straight mentor.
That's mentor.
Yeah, that Artrell Hawkins, Brad Jackson, Jason Fabini, Derek Ransom, Roderick Monroe.
That's crazy. Rob
That's
Monroe didn't
5.
even play a down of football. He was straight basketball, but his body was so ripped. They tried him out as tight end. I
That's
do
crazy.
remember that.
Damn,
Can we
that's
talk
crazy.
about how they need to expand the ring, though? Like, you got so many names you need to add to the ring of honor around the stadium. Like,
Yeah,
you got to update that real quick.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
super quick.
Yeah.
Just quick before we move on. I thought Elijah Ponder would get a chance. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't get drafted. Sometimes I understand measurables. He a little short. But it's like production. Don't you can't lie. I mean, sometimes if you turn on the film and if God make plays, he make plays.
Yeah.
And
He-
anytime I seen Elijah Ponder on the field, he made plays. Even against Georgia, we heard his name in the backfield, making tackles in the backfield. That game,
yeah.
I just sometimes I think NFL guys get caught up in measurables so much that they forget to look and just say, "Hey, this guy can play,"
Yeah.
and he finds a way to make a play.
They also
That-
get caught up in the Power 5 so much.
Yeah,
I mean that too. That
And
too. So
too.
that was a big name that I thought he would be drafted
I did too.
in
I didn't
later
think he would
rounds.
go.
Like I mean, because production
6'7".
speaks for itself.
And he eats 2 block. He's a 2 block eater. Like he's a
Yeah.
perfect 3-4 in.
but
Right? You put 3-4 in right now. He's gonna eat 2 blocks. He's gonna let your linebackers get through clean, and he's gonna make a play if it's close to him. Flat
Yep.
out.
and he's going to Tampa Bay, so he's probably going to get a ring.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
For real.
that's
For real.
definitely
Even if it's practice squad, you still got to
You
ring.
still get a ring.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
well, I mean, it's like what Cam said though. Like, if a guy can play, like, okay, if you're going to take a flyer on him as an undrafted free agent, right? But he can play. He very very well may make the team.
Yeah, he
Well,
pulled up the Eric. I call it the Eric Wilson, Mike Boone. Those cats. It's a lot of cats we
Yeah,
done
they
had.
work.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and they getting paid solidly. You know, they ain't superstars, but they solid. They good. They was undrafted. You know what I'm saying? They stick around, and boom, you see them a couple days. Like, oh dang, my man got 3 sacks and 3. You know, he had like a season. We had 100 tackles or something like that, didn't he? Wilson.
Yep. Yep.
On the
What's up?
other side of that, I'm sad that Jarrell White didn't get signed with anybody because he's got a motor that doesn't stop.
I thought somebody gonna take a flyer on him.
As a safety,
Either
It's
or.
rough. It's hard.
His size hurts him a lot.
It absolutely.
Because he's
You
a
can't
baller.
you can't measure his heart.
He's a baller.
You
He's a
can't
baller.
measure Jarrell White's heart. He's a baller. He's a guy that's just he gonna find a way to make a play.
Yeah, yep. That's why I thought they would give him I thought they would give him a chance because he has consistent stats for 4 years at a solid program that's rising. I thought he was definitely going to get at least a call. I mean, at least by now, I feel like he still might get that call, but it's not going to be. He's not a priority sign now. You know what I mean? It's kind of like come in here, we're going to kick the tires, and he really don't have that much of a chance. I thought he would get like that. Worst case scenario was that Saturday when we thought. You know what I mean? I thought by Sunday he would be signed. Personally, I thought personally he would be signed by Sunday.
I just think when you lack the size, obviously, you either gotta be a burner. You know what I mean? Jarrell White he's not a burner. He's not super fast. He's instinctive, and like I say, he can make plays. But that's
But
what they look at. They look at these measurements. They look at what you run, what's your size, what's your
he
arm length.
he didn't run
Can
that
you
bad
jump?
of a 40 though. Like I feel like he ran like a high 540 for a safety slash outside linebacker. I thought he did fast enough to give him a chance. Plus his tape.
He
Like
Yeah.
also
his,
got
Oh
injured.
yeah, I love the tape. Don't
the
lie.
tape in his coverage in like everything you look at. Like if you look at, I mean, you could look at any numbers and find a argument or a disargument or whatever, pro or a con for anybody. But like if you look at his coverage as a linebacker, he's one of the better coverage people in the nation on one. So I thought
Yep.
that would help him. And then, all right, try him at safety. All right, then he can be a pseudo linebacker because he's a little bit more physical than a lot of other people, and see what happens. I thought he would get a chance. I'm super shocked, and I know that now that he didn't get a chance, I know it was because of his size.
Yeah, that was it. That's all.
And,
That's
and
it.
I think the other thing is like for us, like for Cincinnati people at least, Jarrell White holds a special place in our heart as that first kid that when Fickle got here, he was
Stay home.
he was the hometown hero, and then
Yeah.
he was like the cheerleader that was like, "Hey,
Stay
like,
home.
It's
Here.
cool to stay.
Shaheem.
It's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool to stay home. It's cool to be here.
He's going.
It's cool-
Hey,
Let's build this
he's a
program."
monster.
Like, so
Yeah.
he holds that spot in our hearts, and like, but it's
Right, yeah.
deserved and it was well earned, and he should be
Yeah.
getting a shot somewhere. You would
I hope
think.
somebody
I
at
mean,
least calls him, man. But I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, it's probably gonna be CFL because I mean, he's like fitting that. He's kind of stuck in the Perry Young box where they're like can play linebacker slash safety, but they're a little bit too small. But then the NFL is like so on certain stuff that they don't let that guy get a chance.
Yeah.
Where they probably have to go there. If they go out there and blow it out, then maybe in a couple of years, I feel like they're so good. They get 2 solid years in CFL, you'll see them get a chance somewhere because I just think they're playmakers. And they're just small guys,
right.
He was always good for about 3 to 5 plays where he'd have to go take a couple plays off
Yeah,
because he was injured
yeah,
3 to 5 times
Yeah.
a game.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
but he come back out there though, and he gonna make a play. Like Terrell gonna make a play. That's every year you
Right.
can find like 4 or 5 plays that you be like, dang, that was a hell of a play. Like,
Yep.
what's that? Yeah, he's a dog, but his size just kills him, man. That's the only thing. I feel so bad for him. Just like I know, like if somebody gives him a chance, I feel like he'll at least make a practice squad.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. But hopefully next year we'll be talking about a gang.
We didn't even bring up Beavers.
Oh,
He
Yeah.
is a beast. Yeah,
he's
definitely.
man.
He's
He
so
out here-
big.
He's so big. And
Yeah.
he's doing windmills.
He is huge.
Dude.
Yeah, so definitely Beavers is definitely someone.
And
that
Keep
we
an eye
just-
on
yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Definitely keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, Beaver.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Dude,
Beaver's
so-
going.
These these pictures that keep popping up on Twitter out of there of like where I started, where I'm at now, and it's like these dudes are enormous.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I know we talked about Briggs earlier. He's
Luke
just,
Cage.
dude, he is
Dude.
a monster.
Dude, I would not want to run into Briggs. I would not want Briggs to be mad at me.
And,
No.
like, Aaron, I know you and yeah, like you guys were at like the spring game or whatever, and I saw a couple comments of people that either saw video from or were there themselves that said that like he was moving like somebody that weighed half as much as he weighs,
Like a
and-
gazelle.
and but he's a monster. So
Yeah.
like that's not gonna be fair. Like
No,
when
Oh,
when he's
him and
playing-
MJ?
like,
He's
when he-
second
Man.
team. He's second team.
He's on the second team?
Yeah.
Oh, like I'm
Because
so excited.
who
for
are you
football
going to sit?
season.
Are you going to sit Malik? Are you going to sit Majay? Like, who are you going to sit at end
Oh,
to
they got
make room
a
for
man.
Briggs?
Who
Yeah,
was
big
the wasn't
Well,
there an end
he
that
also-
stayed, another end that stayed? Who's the
He
other
also
end?
kicks in, and so it's going to depend on the coverage, the down,
Okay.
all of that. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
didn't know. So I thought he was straight DT. I didn't know he was pure in. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, in that 3-3-5, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But like I said, hopefully
Not
we talk
nose.
about many more draft picks
No, yeah, I know.
next year, and I think we will be for sure. But just to switch gears here, Yes.
Look how happy he is.
Switch gears
so
here.
excited. He's so
Look at
excited.
him.
We've heard some news that was that landed in the Bearcats Twitter world.
Cam, you
Uh,
ready? You ready to dunk on John Brandon?
I ain't gonna dunk on you. I ain't gonna dunk on you yet. I ain't
He
gonna
gonna
dunk on
dunk
you
on him.
yet. No,
He
but
gonna
it
dunk
came
on him.
out. Keith Jenkins came out, wrote, had an article basically stating, a lot of stuff went down, a lot of
Yeah.
things that we thought happened, but it kind of really broke down in the kind of detail of what was going on and the type of abuse that the players were taking. Um, Obviously, it was a quote where he said, obviously we came out heard a player passed out during a drill, and other players, had to seek medical attention.
Yeah.
Um, it's just for me. It's disturbing to hear. Um, from I understand, and the first thing there's so many people out here calling the kids soft still.
Oh man, it's
I
terrible. I
don't
hate that.
understand
hate
how you call the kids soft.
I
It
hate that part.
I hate it, but
I hate that
I
part. I ain't
hate
gonna
it.
lie. I hate
I
that part, man.
I hate it because this year in particular was very, very unique.
Yep.
Um, Apparently, like, this stuff happened, like, possibly during the summer off season workouts. You got to think these guys, coming into campus. Um, of course they're going to be in solid shape, but they're not going to be in tip top shape. We had COVID, for crying out loud. Gyms were closed, things were closed.
The team had COVID.
The team
No,
had exactly
no. Yes.
the team had COVID, and you know
Multiple
what that.
times, right?
Huh?
Multiple times, right? Because DDJ had it in the summer, right?
I mean, we don't know
Yeah.
who. We don't
Who?
at this point. We don't know who. I mean, it's not been released publicly who
Yeah,
had
true,
COVID.
True. You're
Right.
right. You're right. You're
But-
right.
I mean, even to that point, like we're looking at Jason Tatum right now, who's on an inhaler for the rest of his life, and
Because
he's
of
at the
COVID.
pro level
Yeah,
because of COVID.
Top tier
Exactly.
player.
So you know what it does. It attacks your breathing.
Yeah.
So kids being tired after going through possibly COVID during the summer, then a second wave hit during the middle of the season.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, and we was talking off the record, and as a coach, when you go too far. When it's like, okay, I know where my team is, and maybe I have to dial it down a notch.
Yeah, for sure.
If they didn't make the time the third time, what make you think they're gonna make it the fourth and fifth time? That doesn't make it. So the player's more tired, they gonna make it.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it don't make sense. And then the quotes that I'm hearing saying, he said, "Oh, you're tapping out, huh?" Stuff like that. This dude was a complete control freak. He was a maniac. I feel like he got to UC and thought he had a big time job and lost his damn mind. That's what happened to John Brand. He lost his damn mind. It's just no other way to slice this.
I think also though. I mean, I don't think he lost his mind at UC. I think he had already lost it before he.
Yeah, he's
while
been
he
a
was at
maniac.
NKU, like when he was at NKU, because when this stuff started coming out, like, and it was still veiled as to like what was going on or why all these kids were leaving and all this kind of stuff, and people were like, "Well, everybody's going in the transfer portal. Look, there's like." This team's got so many people. This team's got this many people.
Yeah.
But you never got the feeling from any of those that they were running away from a coach.
They weren't running from the coach. Yeah.
And then you started
They
hearing
weren't.
some like rumors and some things of like guys from NKU that were like,
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Sorolla from across the pond.
Man, he popped up. He ain't
He's got
tweeted in years. You hear me?
Right. And then he says that. But I think the difference is, and I know people kind of joke about like, oh, well, like hit the portal, go see who will take you now, like whatever. But that's kind of how it is for a kid from NKU who is, at a very low level D1 school, right? If they try and leave, they're probably not getting picked up by another D1 school, or they're probably not getting picked up by a school that can maybe offer them a scholarship.
True.
So
Exactly.
they're at a school right now that's offering them a scholarship. They've got a scholarship. They're playing basketball albeit maybe it's for this maniac, whatever, but their school's getting paid for. Maybe they can't afford to pay. I don't know anybody's situation.
Yeah,
But when
true.
you're playing basketball at UC or at a school like UC or maybe a little higher, like you're still going to be able, okay, maybe you end up at UC Santa Barbara, but you're going to still get a scholarship, like go to one of those schools. Probably
Yep.
not, probably not from leaving NKU unless your maniac coach brings you over and then puts you at the 5 and leaves you down low, and you become
Oh,
Coach K's, you become Coach
Hey.
K's favorite player.
Hey, and what's so crazy is it's so like, because I always try to look at the good and stuff. So like after all this stuff, it is what it is. Me and Aaron, we've talked quite a few times, but in camp, but it's a lot of stuff that you look back, hindsight 2020, and you're like, damn, we really like, and he kind of kept it kind of closed. I mean, even other coaches kind of keep it closed per se, but when you try to dig for stuff, you normally can find it. This was the hardest, like pure during the season, because as you see how paranoid John Brannen was or is, it's hard to get stuff, right? But long story short, just like when Tate didn't come, as much as everybody might be fussing about how Wes Miller's bringing over players, those players want to come play with Wes Miller, right?
That's true. He only got one player to come with
And
him.
that was Chris Vogt. So you got somebody, Jalen Tate, who played at Arkansas, which is a good team. And they weren't good before he went there, right? Like that. I mean, they got Musselman or whatnot, but
Right.
UC was in a good spot, but he didn't come across and play with his coach when he could have, right?
And I'll go even further. He stayed at NKU for one more year,
Yeah.
then transferred. That's even telling you even more.
Right.
And he was a legacy.
This
Yes.
man,
Legacy.
this man
Dad
showed
played
up
at UC.
at UC, shut down the Monster Factory, and ran off the best strength and conditioning
coach.
Oh,
coach
my God.
in the country.
Yep.
Made
He
him
did.
go and leave to go to another state.
Yeah.
All right.
He came
I
back
will-
already.
I will say there was a couple other things to that without going into any detail. It wasn't just that he ran him off, because there were some other things going on behind the curtain that people just don't know about.
Yeah.
And that's
However,
fine.
it wasn't, we did not burn the bridge bad enough that he did not want to come back.
right.
True.
And
That's good.
guess who the one piece is that's not here.
Yes.
That's very
So
accurate.
maybe that's where the majority of the fire was.
Could be. Because he came back
Could
pretty
be.
fast.
Well,
So,
he also came back in a new role. Let's not,
right.
let-
Okay.
let- I'm just trying
I'm
to
not-
give
I'm-
both sides of the
I get
story.
you saying.
I
You probably got a little bit more
understand.
news, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw
So
that on
he's
JB.
coming back in a new role where he's in charge of the athletic training of anyone who's not football, essentially. So he's
Okay.
also going to have a hand in the women's athletics and anybody else who's using the
That's
training.
good then.
Well,
That is
it's
good.
also a raise,
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well,
So-
that's positive for UC athletics.
and for
Yeah.
him personally. So
Oh,
there
for
are
sure.
some other factors that go into this, but he would not have come back to a situation where he wasn't comfortable. To your point.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Aaron Billis.
Aaron
Yep.
Billis. There
Yep.
you go. He got the scoop.
But
Jeez.
hey,
Hey, that is a compliment.
but yeah, it is, man.
It is.
Because Jay
100%.
Billis is the man,
But
and
yeah, the Tate stuff, right? Tate stuff, we kind of overlooked. Sorolla leaving because he wasn't a star or anything like that. We kind of overlooked it, right?
Rap leaving.
Rap leaving. I mean, Rap leaving. All right, but we overlooked it though. Like even you think about Rap was like F this, but I mean he wasn't playing like, but he's probably too tired. Legs were tired. He couldn't do a spin move. He's running too many damn laps. But you know what I'm saying? But
I mean, yo,
You know what I'm saying?
this is really wild. Like,
it's super wild, man.
But a lot of it does come back to like kind of what like Coach Cam said though. Like, I mean, granted, like my coaching experience is limited to like wrestling and track and field and stuff like that. But like, you know which of your kids respond to what, right? So like,
Yeah.
does this kid respond to like maybe a little more like pressure being put on him, or maybe like coming at him a little harder? and this kid over here doesn't really respond to that. Like, you can't put everybody in the same box and be like, look, make this time. Like Coach Camp said, like if they're not going to make the time on the third go, why do you think that they are going to be able to make the time on the fourth go? You've got to look at the effort that's being put forth by these kids and determine, is that kid slacking and that's why he's not making it? Or is he not making it because he isn't at that fitness level or at that ability level to do the things that I'm asking him to do? So I need to tailor some things here to make sure that kid can reach his potential.
Jeff.
And I think what he was doing was, nah, everybody else can do this. That's, elite, whatever. Like every 5-star can do it, and you guys are all going to be able to do it. Like,
F your heart monitor. F your heart monitor.
Right.
I know what in shape is. Ain't that what he said?
Man, he said F the heart monitor. I know what in shape
is. F the heart monitor.
Let's not let it be lost that he also made his coaches run.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hey, man, look. I'm telling you right now.
Hey,
Me and Brannen would be throwing hands. You hear me? I'm not running.
No,
we throwing hands. Fire me on spot because we fighting.
Yeah.
We are fighting.
We definitely squaring up.
Coach Cam,
like, you're not making me run. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we definitely squaring up.
You run.
Yeah.
You want to prove a point? You make the time.
We squaring up. You tell me to run, we squaring up. And I'm not even sneaking. If you tell me to run and I'm the coach, we both coaches, I'll probably sneak you. Like, flat out. I'll be like, okay, coach.
You
know what I'm saying?
Also, let's not let it be lost to the fact that one of the guys that we were interviewing for the head coaching position coached under John Brannen for only 1 year. Why? I can only imagine why. Probably because he saw the way he runs a program.
Yeah. But I just want to know, the assistant coaches, like, what were they doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or were they so scared that they didn't want to lose their job? I mean, because they got families to take care of. They got a lifestyle too. So they just can't lose their bread just like that. They can't lose their bread like that. But I'm like, at some point, something got to shake. Something got to stop.
Well,
like, because
they're squealing now.
Yeah, now, yeah.
Now, yeah. I mean, and they got jobs, so I am happy for them because their career could have been ruined too after all this.
I thought that was going to happen to them for real. I thought everybody was going to go down, which I'm happy they all was able to bounce back. And and what made me respect the coaches, I guess they probably tried to buffer it some, is a lot of the players showed the coaches love when they re-landed places.
They did.
Which I bet if Brannen lands somewhere in
nothing.
they're not gonna show them love. You know what I'm saying?
There will be one. There will be one.
Oh, you gotta be one.
Yeah.
Tom Mars?
Postman.
Red Border King.
He'll have to change the color. Depending on what school he lands at, he'll have to change the color of the border.
Oh, yeah,
Although I don't think he's landed anywhere.
Nah, anytime soon. He might pop up like in Puerto Rico and then come back. You think so?
Hey, my thing is this though: if Kelvin Sampson can come back.
Nah, but Kelvin was bred. Kelvin was bred, man. No.
Yeah, he was bred, man. You right.
Ain't nobody ever said Kelvin is abusing people. Mentally abusing
that is a
them.
different level.
Minuteman Rick Pitino came back.
He was, he didn't abuse.
He ain't abusing kids,
and he was doing his thing.
He got abused under a table.
He was getting his dizzle on,
I can't knock a man for that.
Bring up the old podcast where Rick Pitino came up, and I think there were more double entendres.
You can't knock him for that though.
Hey, I can't knock the hustle.
My son went on a trip, and he was like, "Dad."
Listen,
it was all in my face. I'm not really gonna be mad about that. I'm not really gonna be mad
at that school, Dad. Like,
I'm not gonna be mad about the son. Cool, you know what I'm saying?
Did
you like it? You know what I'm saying?
He goes.
What the mama look like? No, just kidding.
I don't want no mini man.
I just be like, as long as they didn't force you, son. That's all I care about. What the coach say. You know what I'm saying? But
right. But
if you go somewhere they coming at you like that, it doesn't matter what the coach says. That scholarship's already ready to go.
And that's why he's popped up at Ione after a couple of years of hiding. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
Wrap it up.
He didn't abuse nobody though. He didn't abuse nobody.
No.
Like this dude was like tyrant. He wasn't letting Bob Mangine do his job.
I mean, that's wild.
They had to stop Scott. Like that's crazy, man.
Sending somebody to scout to see if he was there in the training room.
A spy in the
A
hallway.
spotter, like dude, what do you think this is? You freaking what? Navy SEAL?
hey, like I said, he's out his damn mind, and I am glad because at first we was all kind of questioning like, what is Cunningham doing? Like, but he did his due diligence.
Yeah.
However it comes out, whether we do have to pay, whether we don't have to pay, whatever it is, I'm glad he's gone. I don't think we'll have to pay him at all when it comes down to this. I can't see it. I can't see it.
Well, we
Probably should have taken that early settlement.
You should have.
Here's the thing: it's like, what was there actually ever an early settlement offered? Because if you look at like the timeline of things, they started this stuff like that. Reprimand was like all the way back in August. Like, you know what I mean?
Good point.
I think they did though. I think they did, but he was playing such hardball, and now everything's on the floor. You know what I'm saying? They're like, look, just go away quietly. That's why I think it took as long to get him out of there, because I think John Cunningham was on his bumper from the end of the season.
You say it's all on the floor. We thought it was.
John Cunningham was on it. John Cunningham. It looked like he probably came in and just said, "I don't want this dude, period."
Buddy.
Anyway,
Yeah, I don't like Buddy. Like,
yeah. We thought it was all on the floor 2 weeks ago.
We did,
and now we think it's all on the floor.
But it's not all on the floor. It's a lot's on the floor.
There's still more. Like that's, I don't want to hear anymore. Like, we need this to be done.
Yeah, true.
Take your settlement already. Like, settle it up.
Enough on the floor.
Let's be done.
You don't want more.
I don't want to even say CJB again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't either.
He's helped my site get a lot of clicks lately, though. I'll give him that.
That's what I mean. John Brannen give you something to talk. He give you something to talk about. He give you something to talk about for sure.
He's been a steady podcast topic since January.
You can't help it.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't you think it's kind of strange? Like because my thing is like you kind of feel the pulse of your team, and for him to walk off the court against Houston, kind of let me know that I know y'all done with me, and I'm done with y'all. That was the kind of vibe that gave off to me. After looking back, I'm like, no wonder he walked off. No, he was done with those kids because he know those kids was done with him, and he knew the relationship with all of them was fractured.
Yeah,
well,
I think he knew it was all coming to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
anybody knew it was all coming to an end.
His only lifeline at that point was if they had beaten Houston, if they were able to pull that off and make it, you know what I mean? Like, that was like his only lifeline to keep coaching at UC.
Yep, that was
for just the remainder of the year. I still don't think he would. You know what I mean? Like,
they would have
gone to the tournament. They probably would have got knocked out in the first round, and then that, you know what I mean? Then all this stuff would have come out.
Yeah.
So playing devil's advocate, though, you say you saw him walking off the court and all that. Just a game before, him and Tari were chest bumping.
Look, I get that.
Yeah,
so I get that.
Yeah,
I've coached players that necessarily didn't like me, but when we in the heat of battle and you win a game, you excited. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you win a big game like that and you one step away from what you dream about as a kid to make it to the NCAA tournament, you're going to be excited. You kind of don't care who you chest bumping. You like, you don't care. Yeah. Like, you just going to chest bump somebody. The locker room was happy. Everybody was happy because they won a big game. They still didn't rock with that, man. They just did what they had to do to make themselves look professional, quote unquote. They did the right thing. They rallied around each other and kept playing. But when you're excited to win one of the biggest games of your life, you're gonna chest bump. But that don't mean the love there.
They were riding with their boys at that point.
You just ride. You just riding the wave, and it showed you because as soon as the season was over, 2 days later, boom, MSJ, boom, Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom. Then we down with 4 scholarship players.
5 technically.
See,
5.
Oh,
and
5.
y'all are
don't
coach.
get me started on that, but 5.
You know he hit
I,
him with that curveball like woo, y'all had that.
Right?
5.
Hey, that was ugly.
Hey,
Now, do we?
I mean,
So was that a
I,
JB move?
no,
had to
I
be.
think
Putting Banks on?
I think so.
I can't.
I can't
I
say
don't know.
yeah or
I don't know
nay.
the timeline of that.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like I said I don't know, but that to me just seemed like an absolute curveball. Like if I'm a new coach, you just threw that wrench in there on me, and I'm like, ooh,
There's
because I was thinking we had like 3 scholarships to fill at first, and
there's
then it
some
was like,
whispers, man. There's some whispers that aren't going the right way.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, I'll leave it at that then.
I
So,
can't back anything up because I can't confirm anything. Like
I feel
oh
you.
no, absolutely no, I totally
I feel
understand.
you, man.
We'll
I feel
leave it.
you.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
Just know that was just a
yeah,
curveball. However it is, it was a curveball to a lot of us when it was
it was definitely a
announced
curveball.
that extra scholarship was used.
Yeah, and Justin was the one that so I was like, I know Justin's legit, so
Right, yeah. So
I know.
so
Yeah,
he
I was
don't,
like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh,
right.
well, but I don't know that Justin's reporting who it came from.
he didn't report who it
No,
came
no, no,
from.
he
no,
didn't.
he didn't.
Nah, he didn't.
He did. He just
He
said
didn't. He said it's 5 scholarship. It was 5.
That's
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at is
yeah,
where the whispers are coming from.
yeah,
right.
I wish I could get something concrete. As of
Yeah.
right now, I can't provide
Yeah.
anything concrete.
I feel you.
That's
I don't
fair.
have anything on that on either.
Okay, so now since we kind of get into the roster a little bit, he hit the ground running. Obviously, the first things he did was try to keep the core freshman here. He did. I think he did an excellent job keeping 2 of 3. When you keeping Mason, and keeping Mikey.
Yeah,
And what's crazy is everybody was like, just give me Tari. Honestly, I wanted Mikey. Give me
I,
Mikey.
At
I've
the end of the
always,
day, he also kept the other 3 in DDJ.
Oh, DDJ,
and
Jeremiah.
Jasmine
I was never worried about Jeremiah though.
yeah, I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's got
and
the
I was
chest-
never
me
worried
either.
about Jeremiah.
Me either.
he wasn't going anywhere, and
If I was coaching, I think Jeremiah would stay. You know what I'm saying?
that's what I say. I don't know. It don't matter who the coach. Jeremiah is natty
Hey,
through and
hey,
through.
guys,
This
I'm
is
the
his dream
coach.
school.
He like, cool.
Yeah.
What's up,
He
JT?
likes you
Like,
though, man. Come on now. You act like you haven't had a conversation with Jeremiah Davenport.
that's my guy. But
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
think. But he don't know me far as like coaching X's and O's to be like, hey, I trust you to possibly get me to play professional ball one day. Like, you know what I mean?
Did you dap up with Jeremiah Davenport?
I've chopped it up with Jeremiah multiple
So
times.
that means he's not hiding behind a corner waiting for you to get in the elevator like they were with Coach.
they were hiding from. That's crazy.
They ain't want to get on the elevator with him?
No, you didn't hear that?
That was an
Yeah.
article.
Yeah,
were
that's
like-
when
they were
that was the
like-
first one.
That was
They
the
were
first one.
they
They were
had,
hiding
see him,
behind a
they're like-
corner.
They're
they
like,
had their own spies out, making sure that coach wasn't coming on the elevator with them. And
Oh, that's bad, man.
You don't even want
That's
to. You don't even
bad.
you don't even want to be in an elevator with your coach, man.
Like this dude single-handedly almost drove our program to dust
it was a,
Dead.
it was a
within
self-
2 years, and this year was a COVID. This year don't even count,
You don't even count.
and he almost drove us to
death
nothing.
penalty to the death
Bless-
penalty.
Blessed in the sky.
Save your
Blessed in the
Trojan
skies.
horse.
Blessing in the skies. COVID saved us. Like for
The
real.
Savior Trojan horse.
And cause I thought it was a good hire. Like I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a good hire. I didn't know this dude. I mean, like literally, like I was at the NKU like presser thing. Like I went to like this dinner / whatever. And like, dude, I mean, they had like they brought all this stuff. It was the first year, whatever. And it's before I started writing with Scout.
Mhm.
And I was there like with the donors and everything. And then I saw what he did at NKU. I'm like, oh, dude's legit.
My
And
thing was I didn't have a feeling either way when he was hired. I thought it was really quick.
I
and
thought
how
that's
we
the only
did it.
thing. That's the
I
only
did not
thing.
like that. I did
didn't
not like
either.
that we didn't really do a thorough search.
Me
I
either.
felt-
I didn't
you
like
know,
that was the easy. That was the easy hire.
It was the
though.
easy hire.
He did also do that banquet dinner. Let's not take away the fact that he did do that big banquet in his backyard with
Yup.
all the alumni.
Yeah,
and that
he did.
that was a good move.
Yep, he had him all there.
That was about
That
the only good move.
Yep.
in hindsight.
That's it.
Right, that's what I'm about to
That's
say.
it.
He started on point,
He
and
did.
then he faded. But like I said, red flag to me. Him and Cumberland didn't get along, and I'm just like, I'm not saying you gotta diversify your. I just it's hard, man. I know, Aaron, how you feel. I understand.
Hi,
We obviously
What?
discussed it before,
hindsight.
but it's just like for me, it's like you just kind of find a way, man.
You
Like
kind of do
even
though. I agree.
You,
like
you
I
like
ain't
gotta
lying.
like
you
my
gotta
best even on the lower level, my best player the headache. But you found a way.
Well,
You
so
know,
here's
you
the thing.
found a way.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
I will defend this, and knowing what we know now, that's probably why he didn't want to practice.
Yeah, yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah,
Running me to
true.
death.
Hey
Yeah.
man,
Like
Literally
knowing,
you
almost
gotta
to
return.
death.
You gotta
knowing what
Yeah.
we
return.
know now, that's
You got
probably why he didn't want to practice. That said, there may or may not have been a surgery that.
Yeah,
okay.
we
Well, you
already
know
done.
what?
No,
We already
no,
done.
no.
If
So,
you
yeah.
if you need it, you need it. All right, you gotta get it taken care of. Or
Maybe
I
he
mean
was. Maybe he didn't.
that's the
Maybe he
truth.
didn't.
Hey,
Maybe he didn't care about his surgery.
maybe he didn't care about it.
Maybe he told him, he was like,
maybe he thought that the guy he was going to wasn't as good as the guy he wanted to pay for him to go to. Maybe he wanted to take that and pay for that one too.
Maybe coach gave him $135 and said, "Find a surgeon."
Maybe he
Right
did.
there. Here you go your copay.
so we care about your mental health, baby.
Uh,
But
No,
no,
no, no. But seriously,
no.
hey,
seriously,
Coach Cam, you better
digging
you
into
better
this roster. Okay,
hold
West
on, man.
came in,
You're
hit
gonna
the
wake
ground
up.
running.
You're
All
gonna
right,
wake up
hit the
tomorrow
ground running.
morning.
We kept two of the three, and we kept and we kept the other guys as well. I can't even talk. That's what happened when we get together, though, man.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
why I
Fact,
love it. That's why I love
Yes,
fact,
sir. Yes, sir.
machine.
it. But it was good that we was able to keep Michael Adams Wood, who really kind of came around towards the end of the year, started to look like the Micah that we thought was ascending
Yeah.
to that next level. He started to pick it up.
Mhm.
Obviously, he brought in his guys from UNCG, um, Jared Hensley, Newman, who was going to go to UNCG but came from Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
We had the center Koval, and we got McGinnis, the
McGinnis.
shooting
Yeah.
guard.
Yep.
Um, a lot of people been asking me like, why is he bringing his guys with him? I'm
Because they
like,
were
look,
better than us.
Man, we need a team.
that
And we need a
bingo.
team. And we need a
Thank
team.
you.
We couldn't play 5-on-5.
You got 9 scholarships in
We
the
couldn't play
field.
5-on-5 when he came.
They made the tournament.
You couldn't even play 3-on-3.
Three. And I
Right?
told him, I said, I asked him, I said, how does it feel now you can do play 5-on-5 now? He said, dang, you gotta feel good to be able to play 5-on-5, right? But
Right, exactly. I heard
said-
that. Yeah.
But he saved that he got the team together within a month. At least you know you got enough to play. If
Man,
Steve
I ain't
started,
gonna say it wasn't within like a couple weeks.
So he's got those guys, but he did leave Caleb Hunter back at UNCG.
He
He
look, he was the first one hit the portal. He thought he was going to the daddy, y'all.
But
he want that smoke.
He thought he was gonna get an upgrade. Coach said, "Hold up, wait.
he
Let me
"Can
see my options
he
first."
said, "Can we schedule Cincinnati respectfully?"
Like,
And
man, we
then
not scheduling y'all, bruh.
Antonio McGinnis told him he could have any of that free smoke he wanted. It.
Right, it's good that to me it shows that he's a good coach first of all, and he's for his players, and his players love him. To be able to
Mhm.
follow him like that, and in hindsight, like we saw,
we saw it not happen.
Brannen brought he brought vote over here. Let me just because I was about to go somewhere.
Nah,
and I ain't
it
need
ain't
to
vote
go.
me. It ain't Vote's fault. At the end of the day,
It's not.
It's not Vote's fault.
It's not.
It's at the end of the day, hindsight 2020. We made a bad hire, right? And we got to stand on it. And like the people that I thought it was a good hire, I'm wrong, flat out. Like, and I'm going to be on
He had a hell of a 1/2 season.
for sure.
He had because that Tennessee game, he played his butt off the previous year when he was here.
Oh
a
yeah,
hell
And
of
I
a
was like,
past
oh,
season.
I'm like, okay, we
yeah, he
got
did
some. We
because
could
he was
throw it in the
carrying us at
post.
first. He carried us in the first,
Mhm.
10, 15 games for
He
real. And
did.
then Trey was starting us in. Then
Well,
you got a little bit of Keith, and then Jaron finally started hitting his stride.
Jaron didn't want to pass him the ball. I think that's almost
Oh, Jaron hated Vogt.
well
I
documented.
mean, that was on TV. We ain't gotta pull no punches.
Yeah, yeah, fact.
Anytime he threw in that ball and he hit them skillet hands, Jaron wanted to cuss him out. Frying pan hands just bounce right off. I mean,
Yeah, he definitely is
if I'm gonna say it, like, how are you going? You gotta know what you're bringing over here. Vogt couldn't move.
nah.
Okay,
I
Vogt was
don't,
a statue.
I don't want to do this where we're just empty shitting
Yeah,
on players,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I ain't gonna go all the way
I'm
in.
not empty. I'm not
We
empty.
know
We
what
just we
vote
just
was.
gave him credit for the first half of the year to carrying us.
Yeah, he
But we
did.
gotta look at what we saw.
I will say Trey Scott is a saint, and he needs to get all his props until we pass.
Trey Scott is
Like he's a saint, flat out. Like he protected Vote last year a lot more than we knew until this year. How about that?
those
I'll say that
2020 rebound games.
he was
He
going
grabbing
crazy.
every board.
Yeah, he was. So he
Uh,
protects him a lot. But I'm not going. I'm trying not to crap on Vote. I
And
okay,
crap on the
so
maybe,
coach.
we
and
gonna move
maybe,
to
and
this.
maybe he was just tired from all of them up and backs and
That could be
True,
true
that.
too.
I mean,
Because we already
true,
know he can't run.
That's
for
that's
real.
true.
true.
Like
That's
True.
true.
in all
Because he
honesty,
didn't
like
look
you
at
guys,
Spirey. He didn't look at Spirey as well at the beginning either, though. Like even
nah,
no Trey or not,
he
he didn't
really
look right.
did. He looked. I
He
mean,
did. He
but a
never looked
lot of
right
them,
this
like
year.
when you looked at a lot of them, they looked quite defeated.
He was
Yeah,
playing
Like
like,
coming
injured.
into games,
yeah,
and like who knows really. Like I mean, we don't know who had COVID, and if he had it and then was getting run into the ground, I mean that's just gonna
yeah. How you gonna heal? How you gonna be able to
how
play
you gonna
right?
be able
That's
to come
fair.
back up?
Cause
So
that I mean what we got last year, that's I didn't expect that. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously I
yeah,
didn't think we would
He
Yeah.
get
also
first.
had postseason surgery.
he did have yeah he
He had
did.
surgery. I thought he had. I thought he just rehabbed it. I mean, I could be wrong. I thought he
I thought
rehabbed
I
it.
read it was surgery.
I thought it was surgery.
I think
thought
I
he
think
had,
I think you're right. I think he did have surgery.
So he had
yeah,
surgery.
I
He probably
mean,
caught COVID, and then dude was running him to the
Death.
moon and back
right.
That's
And so
with
like
no
it's hard.
space
And
mask.
it's probably hard to come out and play inspired basketball when you're worried about when we get off the court here. He's probably gonna make us run like 40 suicides after this game, and yeah, who knows? He probably didn't even want to be there with him anymore either.
Yeah, it's true.
Nah, I agree with you. So to kind of tamper, not necessarily tamper, but I'm gonna ask you guys, and I'm gonna start with Jeff. What are your expectations coming into next year? Obviously, we still got a couple holes to fill. As far as big wise, that's no secret.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
I think it's still exciting time. We get a fresh face in Wes Miller, someone that's pumping energy into the program, and brought his guys over. What do you expect from UC basketball next year? You know, like I don't want to like I'm excited honestly. I don't want to skip football season obviously,
right.
but I am anxious to see the energy that Wes Miller brings, especially in a pack fifth third. I think that makes a difference as well.
Yeah, so we're I think likely, hopefully, if everything goes right, fifth third will be we'll have no mandates on some things. We can have fans in stands, and obviously we know that does make a difference to players when they got people to play in front of instead of a empty gym. But if you would ask me what my expectations were about a month and a half ago, it wouldn't have been what they are now. And I'm not saying I'm expecting them to go in and be a top 5 seed in the tournament or anything crazy like that. I'm excited that they have a team. They've got a new coach and a new direction. I think he's bringing in kids from his school. I know we've touched on this. He brought in some guys that he's familiar with at this point. I think that's what you can do. Coming out of the portal, you're not going to build a championship team out of the guys that are in the portal. Could it be done? Yes. You're not going to bring them all to be able to do that. But what you can do is show your style, also by bringing guys with you that are familiar with your style, and you don't have to work to implement your new system with kids that aren't familiar with it. So I'm looking for a pretty decent season, competitive season, one that I wasn't sure we were going to be able to have, and one where Coach Miller can show recruits that are coming in the next year, 2 years, what they can expect as a Cincinnati Bearcat, and build up his stock of recruits to get more guys that are his type of guys, and from there on out. So next year I say a competitive season, beating Xavier is going to be great, and then outside of that, I just want to be competitive, and I think that they're going to be able to do that.
All right, Aaron, what you think?
Well, I think we have the best coach in the city, first and foremost. Travis Steele has run a Xavier program that was doing very well. I think he's floundering, honestly.
I
Can't argue with that.
I cannot argue with that at all. Losing to
oh.
Butler and then DePaul, was it?
Every
in the
year
first
they
round
on
of
a
the Big East?
bubble. They bubbled out.
They just bust their bubble every year.
Yeah.
And you got to be kidding yourself right now if you think that Xavier fans aren't jealous watching what's happening with Coach Worldwide West here at UC. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, though, the moves he's made to try and establish his culture already, where he's bringing his guys in, and it's not the young guys necessarily, not all the young guys anyway. He's also bringing in the guys who've already bought in. So he's bringing in guys who've worked in his system for several years. So he's doing what I think John in his head thought he was doing when he brought Chris Vogt over, but he never really established his culture, not to mention the fact that apparently it takes 3 years to learn his offense, which doesn't make any sense for collegiate athletics ever.
Yeah.
That all said, he's also taken home run hits or like shots anyway, as far as trying to bring a guy like the kid who just signed with Kentucky,
CJ Frederick.
I can't pronounce his name. The
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
the forward from
Louisville.
No, that's a Slazinski or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Cool. You talking about Wake Forest? The Wake Forest kid?
Yes.
Obi. I don't know his last name. I ain't gonna jack his name up like that.
All I'm saying though is he's also putting emphasis on the fact that if you get an offer from Cincinnati, he wants it to be a big deal, and I think that's something that we don't.
Odie.
Yeah, Odie.
We haven't felt anything like that in a very long time.
Yeah, Odie Ugama.
Yeah.
So just every move I feel like he's made thus far has been the right move. You can't ask somebody to come in here and do better than what he's already done as far as trying to make what little reparations at this point that you can make in the course of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it's been since he was officially hired, with the alumni, with the current players, with the players that were in the portal. Show me a move that he's made is wrong, and I can tell you where to go. But that all said, he's just doing everything the way that it should have been scripted. If you're writing a movie, he's doing it exactly that way. So I got all that said, I got nothing but hope for next year. And as inspirational as it is as a fan, I don't know that doesn't translate immediately over to the players. I mean, we're seeing Mason Madsen jumping out of the gym right now. He's refilming White Men Can't Jump in the gym at UC. It's crazy.
I think that was at Purcell Marion.
Was it?
Yeah,
when he was topping the
topping a vertical joint, he was with it 42 inches in.
I'm talking about the one where he was doing a 360 jam.
I'm talking about him hitting the top of the vertical jump. Melvin Levitt giving him props, welcome to the 40 whatever club. I don't know because I can't see that high.
Yeah, I never know that high.
So he's doing everything, just doing everything the right way. I don't know how that doesn't translate to 20 wins. He's not going to set us up on some crazy gauntlet.
No, I don't see that either. I don't
He's
see
gonna
that
he's
either.
gonna he's gonna have some cupcakes in there. Be
Easy,
prepared.
man.
But that's gonna be to establish your team. And I know that's not necessarily fair to what we ran into this year because you had less games, because you had no off-season schedule initially, and then you had to just
Yeah.
basically patchwork a schedule together
Yeah.
in the wake of COVID and all that. That all
Cool.
said, I'm not trying to make excuses. It just simply is what it is. But
Yeah.
he's going to do the right things and get us there the right way. And I have all my faith in him right now. I think he's going to be literally Luke Fickell, the basketball brand.
I say the
So-
same thing. I say
so-
the same thing.
Give me more Wes Miller. I'm here for it. And if he gets 20 wins, great. If he doesn't, I still feel good about it
Yep.
because we're moving the right way.
I want to see him in a 3-point shooting contest at Midnight Madness.
I asked him about that too.
Well, you're
If
up,
they have
JT. Go ahead.
All right. So I feel like they're going to be competitive. I like what he's done so far. To piggyback on you guys, what you guys have said, he's done everything right. Like, I know we haven't played a game, so I know once games hit, it's going to be more criticism or whatnot. But right now, it's a love fest. We're in love, right? As a fan base. And that's
Honeymoon phase.
Yeah, honeymoon phase.
perfect way to
You
describe
check on
that.
everything, whatever. But he's hiring the right coaching staff. He's getting alumni around. He touched on the people that were in the portal. He gave the Bearcats a chance to keep Tari, right? That's all you can ask for. I mean, the kid was in the portal for how long? He got Mikey to change his date and stay. Mason was damn near out of here, so it's like, and then he got, I knew Davenport wasn't going anywhere, but he got Micah to stay. It seems like the Julius is on board, and then he got, Victor to stay. So,
Mystery man.
Yeah.
We don't know nothing about
Nothing
him. I want to see something.
Man. What if he come out and just be killing the shooting one?
I'm
What if he come out and
optimistic. I'm
what if he come out-
optimistic.
Oh,
I'm
Come on,
hopeful
Kim.
that Koval takes him under his wing and just makes him version 2.0 because he can already hit threes. We've seen the videos of him on Twitter.
What if he got crazy footwork though? Because I want a big guy. If he we got somebody that got crazy footwork, it'll be fire. But what if he just got give it to me in a high post and I can just I can pass it over your head. I can hit you with a spin move.
I want like that dude. Did y'all watch that? I know the tournament this year. Loyola Chicago.
Yeah. The dude, he was like a fake. He was like
Jokic.
a fake Joker.
Yeah, he was like Jokic.
Yeah. What if he's like Joker 2.0? Like 3.0?
Couldn't jump over a penny,
Yeah.
but he was
He was just
diming him up.
But were
You know
his
what I'm
arms always bleeding?
He could jump a penny.
Jokic's arms are always bleeding. I can't wrap my
He's
mind
good
around.
though, man. He's good.
Hey.
But this team, I feel like they're gonna be because we still got a couple slots. Like if he fills those slots, I know he wants bigs. He has a couple bigs in there. It might be okay. I mean, I feel like they'll at least be at least in the middle of the pack, no matter what in the conference. And then I feel like you never know. I feel like how he's gonna be cooking with fish grease, with how he's just like a master motivator. You never know, man. You never know. I say be a top 3 possible
Together.
because it's like a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the thing is Jeremiah. I'm gonna go back to my Jeremiah respect. Where
He's the wild card.
He's made such a big jump from even with just imagine he made that big of a jump with a maniac as his coach.
There's
Think
all
about
those
this.
sprints.
He made a jump that nobody saw with a maniac in COVID. So just imagine a semi-normal coach, a semi-normal offseason. I can see him being the main guy. I can see it. And then you got Mason. I feel like he's gonna be better. Micah's gonna be better. I feel like Julius. I feel like he shot the ball well at Michigan. There's no way his jumper went away
He was
like
tired.
that. He was tired running all those damn 33s, 17s. You feel me?
Bruh, it was
So
the
I mean,
zero,
dude,
bruh.
nobody
It's the
shoots
power of the
40%
zero.
in the Big Ten and can't shoot 20% in the
Power of the
AAC.
zero.
It's the power of the number 0, bruh.
I'm telling
Put
you,
on
it's
that
the
number
coach.
0,
It
your
was the
shot
coach.
go, bro.
It's the coach, dog.
JT.
He went from 40% in the Big Ten.
You can
Look
get
at
his
him.
ear. Tell him to change his number.
Right, that's all we gotta do,
Think
bro.
so? Where you need to go to
It's the
3?
number. We know it's the
It doesn't
number.
any other number. any other
Zero has
number.
been bad luck since
It
what?
has,
Quad Squad.
it has been bad luck though.
Hey, that's Aaron's guy, though.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
right
ever
though.
my guy. Not.
But
I don't ride with quad ever.
but like I think you can, but you could build around Davenport. You got enough, you got enough kids that have already been in his system that can help teach these young men that haven't been in the system, kind of buffer that for them, and they're young enough where I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to relate on some kind of, hey, you're 20, I'm 20 level. You know what I'm saying? Not like you're 30 and he's 20 and they can't relate. So you got that, and you got coaches, and then you got coaches that are actually have coached with Wes. And they went other places too, so they got different stuff. So they're going to be like sponges to each other, I'm guessing, because they came back. And I mean, I guess the one still isn't official yet, though. The UGA guy, I don't know if that's been. I haven't gotten a press release yet, has it?
I saw him in a video tonight where it said his name and then said Cincinnati underneath.
Chad Dollar. Yeah, it has.
Chad
Yeah,
Dollar?
he was talking about people often now asking him like, can you get a guy for me? Can you recruit? But he's basically talking like, hey, as an assistant coach, I can coach too. And then it's just about getting
he said
guys.
he didn't want to be in the field all day. He wanted
Right.
to be here coaching.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
saw the same video, but it
Okay.
did say Chad Dollar, Cincinnati.
Okay,
underneath
cool.
it.
Okay, I didn't know. I know I haven't got a press release on it yet. I know I posted it, but I know I haven't got the.
Somebody
the press.
released enough that at least he was broadcasting from Cincinnati.
Okay, cool.
So
I need to
maybe
check
he's
that out.
just here in the city at a hotel.
But you know
Who
how it
knows?
goes. You know how it goes, though, man. Like you see it, and you're like, "Hey, you've been on campus." But nah. But yeah, I like what he's doing. I like the staff. People are familiar with him, and he's got enough to play basketball. If we need to play basketball right now, and at the end of the season, we didn't have that. We could. I think we had a 5, maybe.
Yeah, we had
you know
5.
what I'm saying? So you can't even foul out. You couldn't even foul out. You know what I'm saying?
Brandon
Now-
also struggled to hire a staff.
That's true. I think the biggest thing, learn how paranoid he was. All right, take out a paranoia, take out a running these kids until they freaking pass out. And I'm tired of the people calling these kids soft, man. I
gotta
hate
stop
that.
that.
I
It's
hate
exactly
it.
the opposite.
hate-
Once you hear what was going on,
Like for them just to play the game,
it's the exact opposite of being soft.
Those kids play for each other. They said, "F the coach. We're gonna play for ourselves and our name on the back in the school." Right.
And I think that's got to speak everything to your point.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Davenport.
Yeah.
They all rallied around him.
Yep.
And
So it's like they call these kids soft, man. That's the thing.
That baffles me.
Tari's mom didn't even know.
She didn't know. She didn't know.
Which means that Tari wasn't running back to mom saying XYZ is happening.
Which means he isn't soft. He's not
soft.
He was just toughing it out.
He ate it.
He ate it.
They all did.
And I heard Tari was like, went to him like a G, like, I need you to change this stuff if you want me to stay. Like,
unreal.
That's crazy to think that possibly we could have lost our whole team in the middle of the season.
Oh, it's very possible.
You know what I mean? We lost Rap, obviously. We lost Harvey.
Dude came back, and Laughing came back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, at one that was alarming to me. I'm like, all right.
Dude was like the most
left. I understand. Like the only reason why I held off it was because it was like COVID. You know what I mean? You don't judge nobody mental.
And he had a young kid too.
And he had just had a kid and like
exactly. But you don't judge that. So I'm like, okay.
But at the end of this,
go ahead.
Just to say, like when you see it at the end of this, like it puts a whole new light on like when these kids were opting out. You know what I mean? And then they were coming back. It was almost like they were out like I'm out, like I'm done with all this nonsense. Yeah. And then you had probably like some of these other players maybe coming back to him like, hey, let's just finish this out. Let's finish the season. Like we can all bail at the end of the season if we need to. Like, but we got to stick together for the season. And then then they came back in. And
yes, I see now. That's what it seems. Because like just like you said it seemed crazy. I had people hit me up like, man, something a little off. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang,
everything.
Something's a little off. But you said, people will be winning, like they'll get an award and be like, man, I'm out of here. Like I'm opting out because
because I mean, off the record, JT, when before we all four got together, started doing emergency pods and stuff like that. I'm like, JT, I'm hearing things like this dude is off the chain. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't know how detailed it is, but I'm like, something
yeah,
ain't right. It's the body language of the kids on the court during basketball games.
yeah,
Let me know everything. It's just like, and I said something was going on like earlier in the year, and when they played Georgia, man, and they just got throttled first half. I mean, I think it was like 50 to
yeah.
25 or
They didn't
something like
get
that.
smoked,
And I'm
boy,
just like,
bad.
something ain't right. I'm like, these kids are talented. They're young, but they're talented.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be going down like this. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I think that's what was happening towards the beginning of in the beginning of the year is that it was just it wasn't clicking, and I think the kids was just kind of like checked out, and to the point where they had to rally around each other and start winning some basketball games to keep from honestly, just getting embarrassed because at one
yeah,
point we are 3-7, 3-7. You got to find a way to rally around and get some wins. But I know I'm very critical, but I'm excited about the Wes Miller era. I'm definitely gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna give him time. I understand. I see what he's doing. As far as building the roster with
yeah,
kids he knows, so he can implement his culture in place with kids that know it and kids
yeah,
that can spread what they know throughout the team, and that's very 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 important when you're trying to start over, per se, and
yeah,
that's what he had to do. He had to start over with this roster. He had four players,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
um,
Five.
like as you said, five. My bad. Five players. Five.
Five.
I keep saying four. I'm sorry. Five. I know. Aaron gonna beat me up.
Oh,
I'm not
Five
gonna beat
players.
you up. I'm frustrated with
is it
the
five?
one
Uh-huh.
scholarship.
I know. I
Uh,
just it just keeps slipping my mind. But
It
we got.
should.
oh,
But it was
uh,
five. He and Aaron and five
He
scholarship
was
players.
good enough to start over Tari though.
and he
That
started.
was crazy.
And he
I
started
don't
over
care if
Keith.
I don't care if Tari's out COVID 2 weeks.
He started over
You
Keith
you
too.
you start Tari. I don't care if you're playing for a little bit. You know what I mean? But you starting because it just shows signs of just flat out disrespect.
He started him over Keith too, didn't he? Didn't he start? Didn't
Yeah,
he?
Keith ain't start that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I mean, Mick was mad as hell all the time. We already know,
Yeah.
But
right?
his
But he
players
would have
love him.
never started a walk on outside
Nah,
of senior
Senior
night
day.
no,
over than a guy that he brought in on
no,
scholarship.
no,
You
never.
don't
Because
do that. It's a sign
that's
of disrespect.
It was super sign of respect.
that's not how you build relationships.
Not at all.
That
That's how you
destroys.
ruin them.
That's how you burn bridges.
Not for
Truthfully.
sure. For sure.
I
But the
believe honestly, was it that game where after the starting lineup was announced, Tari tweeted he was like ha 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 ha. Like I remember it was after it was like the lineup was released, and I
Probably.
believe it. I think it
Probably.
was
I
that
think
game
it
where,
might have been. It might have been.
and they released the lineup, and Tari probably like 5 or 10 minutes later tweeted ha 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 ha.
And I'm sure Banks is giving everything
yeah.
out there. You
Oh,
know,
for
that's
sure.
not
For sure.
I'm not
No
dogging Bank.
slide.
I'm
No
not
slide on
dogging
not a knock
Bank.
on Banks. His skill level is just clearly not the same. We know
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Right, that's
No
all
slide
it
on
is.
Banks.
He
No slide
worked
on
hard, and
Banks.
in that game he got some strong rebounds. He worked
Yeah.
his tail off.
Yeah, for sure. No
They
slide
helped.
on
I mean, he
Banks.
helped us get a win, play some good defense.
but
Well,
Matt, but the
that's just
positive thing going forward is we've got Wes Miller.
Yes.
We got a full squad of guys plus some guys on the bench, and we're probably gonna add a couple bigs,
Yeah.
maybe one, maybe two. I don't know what are there 3 scholarships left?
Two.
Two.
Two for sure, right?
So we probably should
unless
add.
anybody bounces.
Yep.
So we probably
Yeah.
should add like a 4 and a 5, maybe 2 5s.
Well,
At
you
this
currently
point.
have 2 5s on the roster.
Okay,
Vic
so
a
we should
5. I
probably
thought he was 4. He a 5.
He's as tall as Vogt was. You ever see him in his white
He's set.
tee and joggers in the huddle?
True.
All
Yeah.
right. So we got to add some bigs, and I think things are looking far better than they were just a few short weeks ago.
That's true. That
If you
is
only
true.
got 2 Scullies, I don't want him to go to a 5. Truthfully, like I'd rather it be 2 4s because
Yeah,
I mean at least we have 2 5s currently on roster.
like Quinn Slazinski from Louisville.
Like the 2 that are being currently rumored between the kid
Yeah.
from Louisville and
Wake
Odie.
Forest.
Wait for it. I'll take
Like
both
that.
of them.
Like
And
that
I'm cool with
description,
that.
that description of him that I sent. That
Golden.
That was like that's a guy that that's it.
Yeah, I just want to get back to getting some Bearcat bigs.
Yeah,
Someone that's you may go up for a layup. Heck, you may get fouled a little hard.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I miss those days where you
Yeah,
come to Cincinnati, you come to Fifth Third, and you a little intimidated.
yeah. I
We got
need.
to get back to that because I know Fifth Third a place where you can reel off 80%, 90% of your wins here. You know what I mean? And we got to get back to that. Losing at
Yeah.
home to South Florida, we ain't lost there in '88 since I was in my mom's belly. That's
Well,
crazy.
regardless, whatever happens here this season, I think that you give him a full year with his new staff in place now. Give him a full year, and see what he does, and then you give him a second year. I mean, and I think we're already night and day from where John Brannen had the program
For sure.
in 2 years.
And if you look back on how he recruited at UNCG,
Swung for the fences, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
you think he's not gonna swing
A
for the fences at
4-star.
UC? You think he's not gonna be able to get a person that you like? Dang, I didn't think we can get him. Like
I would
I'm
love
telling you,
just one faster. I don't
I'm
care. I
telling you,
want
I
I
see it.
want I
I see it
want one
happening.
one and done guy.
I
I
see it
want
happen.
somebody
Look,
Me
to
too.
come in here
Me
that's
too.
gonna get 20 and
I'm
dip.
down with that. I'm
A
down with that.
4-star higher than Tari. He recruited a 4-star ranked higher than Tari.
Yeah,
Technically,
and he's
That's
coming
true.
here, and
He's
he's
coming.
coming here.
He's gonna get
So-
somebody high, man. I can feel it, man. I feel it in my bones. I don't know
Well,
who.
Yeah, West is gonna do good things here.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's gonna do good things. He just gives off that energy that he's not going to settle for anything less than greatness. I mean, he wants to
Yeah,
be one of the top. He wants to be one of the best coaches in the NCAA, and I think him coming to Cincinnati is a good way to display that.
yeah,
Yeah.
He gets to step up, and we have a real prestigious university as far as when it comes to basketball, so
yeah,
he
for
could be able to
sure.
recruit to that as well.
Yeah.
So
I don't, since Cincinnati basketball is not a stepping stone job.
No, because he
It's
even
really
said
not.
he said like going to the airport, people ask him what UCNG was when he had it on. He goes now, even if it's only been a couple weeks, people know when they see that CPAW on his chest, like, oh, he's the coach or he's got something to do with UC. Like that holds
He
weight.
threw a
man.
first pitch
Already.
Yeah,
for the Reds. He threw a
Already,
first pitch.
already.
So
Yeah,
kudos.
awesome.
Already.
But you bring up the word prestigious. Is he going to bring back the prestigious brand?
he better.
The brand. That's
I
what we
think-
gotta
I think
get
so.
to
I ain't
before
gonna
we
lie,
get
man.
up out of
Hey,
here. The
we gotta talk
brand.
about that.
Everybody want to talk about the Jordan brand. We want it back.
Definitely want it.
Everybody knows my feelings on the Jordan
Look,
brand.
look. I'm
I
gonna
love
tell
it.
you.
It's got something behind it.
Because
It
you can wear
means
Nikes
something.
or Jordan, dude. Like you can wear Nikes or
Yeah,
Jordan.
you
Look,
can mix it up.
look. All right, have you seen the video of Mikey Duncan and he's got his shoes unleashed? What is he wearing? Jordans. Have you seen Mason hooping? He's wearing Nikes. Like these kids don't really wear Under
He's also-
Armour
He's also wearing
outside of when you have to wear it. Like
Yeah.
people on Nikes, maybe Adidas now, and then you might wear some Steph's, maybe not really. You know what I'm saying? But kids love Steph, so they probably wear Steph kind of anyways. But that's it. But they're not screaming for it. I mean, Nike has so much. Not even just Jordan. Like you can wear some Zions now. You can get some Russ Westbrook. I mean, not Westbrook.
Giannis.
Yeah, Westbrook. Yeah, Giannis.
KD.
You got KD, Kyrie, Old Pennies. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Barclays. I mean, it's just so much style that
So-
Nike brings. I don't care
Well-
about the money. I know you're gonna come with the
Aaron-
money. It's
Aaron
about
has-
they got to bring the merch though. That's what Under Armour failed with us. Our fan base was so hungry for the merch and we couldn't find stuff.
nothing.
It was like
Nothing
why
anywhere.
drop it and then
You
you
would
can't.
see them wearing like these fire track suit warm up suits,
And you can't buy
you
it.
can't find them anywhere. And I
So,
like people are willing to spend the money. on
Yeah,
it.
so you
I know
but
some of that's
thing,
the university licensure or whatever,
but they gotta loosen that license up and they gotta
Yes,
and they gotta loosen the license up and they gotta eat off their license. And so like, all right, if I have this brand, say I do a TFON UC shirt or whatever, then if I sell 10 shirts, I gotta make sure I break them off a little bit of that money. And then I can sell as much as I want to sell, but I gotta break you off a little bit, and that's more income for you because people are gonna buy it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If I had a UC shirt and it's branded by UC, people was gonna be like, "Dang, I kind of like that TFN shirt. I'm gonna buy it." know what I'm saying? And if I gotta pay him $10 if I spend to sell the shirt for 35, I do it because
I
I'm
mean,
still making a profit.
look at places
But
like
everybody's
you
winning.
walk into Cincy shirts and you can buy Dayton gear and Xavier gear and Kentucky gear. Like you buy all this other gear, and I'm in Cincy shirts and I can't find one thing with the UC logo on it.
And we're public.
That's
Public.
crazy.
It's wild.
We're-
That all said, I think that you have to take the money until, and I think you can draw it up in a contract the right way. We have to take the money until we make it into a Power Five conference. And then you go back to the table. Because until then, how are you funding things without literally like, and we already know that Cunningham, in the time that he's been here, has not been one to be trying to be extra dipping into, and maybe it's COVID, I don't know, but he hasn't been one to be like, let's go dip into the donors' pockets. He's struggled. I mean, people talk all the time on the boards on BCJ. They talk about it on Twitter about how we're alumni. We have money to give. No one's ever contacted us. Or we've donated once and no one's ever called me back again. Not to thank me, not to invite me to anything, not to ask me to donate again. So there's a huge disconnect between a school that I'm not even an alumni of, but I still know how well or lack thereof they are running this whole alumni program as far as donations go to give back to the sports program. Be better. Like, just figure it out. It's not hard. I've worked sales my entire post-graduation life. Pick up the phone and you call, and you will hear no 100 times. Correct. But you will hear several yeses, and you have to find the yeses through the nose. That's go watch Boiler Room, for God's sake. That's literally the whole premise of the movie Boiler Room. Vin Diesel when he still had hair.
Yep. No, I agree with you. Honestly, man, I just want some new jerseys. I'd be thirsty for new jerseys. I want a new look. Um, I mean, far as the Jordan Brand, it'll be good to get back to that, though.
Yes,
I mean,
it'd be fire.
Good. It'll be good to get back to that and just have, and have that, just have that. It's the small stuff that recruit kids. You'll
But
be
is it worth it?
surprised. It's the
Is it
small
worth it if we're
stuff.
making no money?
Maybe
It's worth it if you get the kids in there.
But think about if you get the kids in.
You get the
Aaron.
kids.
Think about
how are you going to get to a Power Five conference with if you can't get the kids?
You get the kids. I'm telling you.
And that
the
could
Nike,
be that could be the
You
deal
get the
breaker.
kids, you get
That
the
could be
money.
deal breaker.
How are you going to build the
kids.
facilities if you don't have the millions of dollars?
you will do so good.
so
I'm
when
telling
you start winning,
you'll that'll come in because you make a deep run. You're gonna get more money. You need to get the kids in there. You get those thoroughbreds in there. Everybody, the big brands. UA is cool, but the big brands normally Adidas and Nike control where people go. At the end of the day, in AAU basketball,
because they got the two circuits.
There's two circuits. Those are the two main. The Under Armour circuit is cool, but at the end of the day, Nike circuit and the Adidas circuit is grassroots since we've been toddlers. You know what I'm saying? Since they understood this, since they started. You go back to Georgetown when they said, "Hey, John Thompson, we paying your school and you for them to wear Nikes." Like ever since that stuff started happening in the early '80s, Nike and Adidas, they know how to get it done. And with our
kids to those schools,
and I'm just telling you, like the kids, they only wear the gear when they have to. If you bump into anyone on our team,
Mikey was wearing Nike the other day in Chad's picture.
yeah, I'm
I
saying
saw it.
like he was dunking with his Jordans unlaced. You know what I'm saying? Like those kids aren't wearing Under Armour when they don't have to. They're just not. And then you're getting kids like even if you talk to people, like okay, we can go back in my day. I'm not even gonna do that, but it's a lot of people that just love Nike. Like just think about it, they just love Nike. Like and it has a tie. Like okay, I got 3 schools. It's 2 that are Nike, 1 that's Under Armour. Shit. I'm going with these 2 that's Nike, and I'm gonna sort it out. And then maybe if it don't work out for me, I'm transferring to the Under Armour school after a year or 2. But you're not going to get that initial kid.
because what's crazy, if you even look at it into the players that he got, started to cut you off, JT, the players that he got, Brannen,
Yep.
AAU team, Mason and Gabe were Under Armour.
Yep.
Mikey played for he played for several, but they were both
Yeah.
Under Armour.
Yep.
Like for somehow, some way, it don't
I didn't
always
actually
happen
know
that
that.
way,
Yeah.
but they funnel to those schools that have the same brand,
Yeah, the brand, man. I'm telling
and
you,
it's
the brand open it
crazy.
up. And open it up. I think it just will open it up. And then at the end of the day, they'll take a loss probably because Under Armour deal was amazing. You had to take it. Nobody else was offering that money. Okay, but at the end of the day, if UC does it right, they'll come up off top if they can just get back to Nike. Because people are going to buy it. It's going to bring the nostalgia back to the older people. The younger people are still always going. They're probably going. They wear Nike more than they wear Under Armour and other stuff anyway. So it's like it's a win-win. They just got to make sure they get extra money off of the sales, and they got to make it available for these people too,
Open the
especially in our
licensure
region.
up.
They gotta make it available. So like the thing is, you can't hold those
I don't even know.
t-shirts and jackets. Like you can't
I
hold
don't.
it like
I
in
don't
a vault.
understand why. I don't understand why they're being so protective over it either.
You gotta
Truthfully,
loosen it up. You're gonna get more money. Because then if you
It
got
is
it
what
out
it is.
there, you gotta loosen
that's
it
where
up.
you can make up the difference if you did
Yeah.
go Jordan and Nike and all
That's
that.
what you
Like,
gotta do.
do Jordan for the basketball, do Nike for the football,
Yep.
and run it back.
Yep. And
Yep.
then when you come back and you say, look at these numbers, then you come back to the table and you say, look, now we're in this Power Five conference. I want this amount of money. You see what our sales are. I want a little bit more. You're a big time.
Fan base will go
But
insane.
Go
Here's the
crazy.
thing: is like the sales
You
are
can
going to
pimp
go
it.
through.
You can pimp
The
it.
sales will go through the roof right off jump, just because Under Armour didn't have anything available anywhere
Yep.
for anybody
Look
to
at
buy.
those. Look at those shorts from like
That's right.
'92.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Just
went out
back
so
out.
quick.
It's like
I
in
felt
$5
bad. I
a
didn't get
pair.
one. I'm like,
2
God.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So obviously, we gotta find out who the brand. I would love to join brand. Uh, you know, hopefully, whatever decision they decide to make, hopefully it helps the university.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
but
True.
I want to say I want to thank you guys again for coming on Time Out with Coach Cam. I really, really appreciate it. Um, hey, it's always fun to talk Bearcats with you guys for sure. So I definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you for tapping in with me.
thanks for the invite as always.
No
No
problem,
problem.
man. You know how I go down.
No problem. I appreciate you guys. It's getting late. We about to get up off of here. Another episode of Time Out with Coach Cam will be out tomorrow. Talk some NBA, and then Sunday we'll be recapping the Bengals draft. So excited about that. Till next time. Peace.
See ya.